And of course, it hasn't been like still not too long since like the sad passing of Claude as well. Like it's incredible the amount of like positive tributes that came out after like all of that as well. What was like your relationship with Claude?
Oh, me and Claude had a great relationship. You know what I mean? The thing with me and Claude, for me, I don't think it's going to really hit me until I go back to the grounds and games, because what would happen with Claude is we'd do the fan cams and then we're right. I'm off down. Oh, wait for me, wait for me. I say, right, I'll wait for you. And we'd have a couple of beers back at the 12
Yeah.
pin, and wherever it was, even if I didn't see him at the fan cams, we'd end up having a beer together at the end of the games and all that. You know, meet up and things like that. And I've had him around my house for barbecues and things like that. I had a fantastic relationship with him. Like, we had our ups and downs, we had our arguments. You know what I mean? Like, and we've had a couple of falling outs along the way. But and we had a falling out. You know, words were said about after that AFTV thing, what happened with him. You know, he felt that I didn't say him as well as I should, and you know, I should have backed him up. And I said, well, you know, that's my opinion, and we didn't speak for a while. So you know, I said, if that's how you feel, F you, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that. But then 2 days later, he'd go, "Oh, half pint, you're all right," and all that. Like, so I said, yeah, you know. But we was actually not talking for a little while. And then my dad passed away, and he was one of the first people to phone up and say, "Oh, sorry to hear about your dad," and you know. And then we started talking again, and thankfully we did, because a few months later, obviously, you know, Claude passed away as well. And the thing is, and I really mean this, and if you're not talking to somebody or not, you know, and you're falling out with people or whatever, you just don't know what's around the corner.
It's true, yeah.
You know, I'd spoken to Claude about 3 or 4 days before that. He said, "Hey, I'm not well," and all that. And I said, like, well, you know, get yourself down to doctors instead of like, you know, get yourself down there. He said, yeah. And I thought, well, I'll phone him up tomorrow, see how he is and all that. And then that was the day that I got the phone call that, you know, he passed away, you know. So very, very upsetting. And
it didn't seem real when it first happened, like when the news broke.
No, you know, no, it didn't. It was very, 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 you know, and because then, you know, Claude was you know, complex character, to say the least. You know what I mean? He said the day before tweet, said, "Oh, I'm going to be with my mum tomorrow." You know, and he said that a lot. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, and then like, bloody hell, he did die the next day. You know, of course, people then start putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. You know what I mean? And just like with my dad, you know, when I found out my dad died of natural causes, like my dad had a heart attack. So, but I was worried, you know, like something like, you know, that had happened and whatever, like, you know. When I found that out, you know, I felt a bit better. It was the same with Claude. When I found out that he'd died of a heart attack, you know what I mean? Like, at least you knew that it wasn't.
What, I know, yeah.
You know, so there was that little bit more. Oh, well, that's
that peace, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of peace in your mind, exactly, like, you know. So, you know, listen, he was one of the reasons that I watched AFTV. I'm going to be really honest with you.
A lot of people, yeah.
You know,
same for a lot of people.
And going back to that first interview, he's actually in that first interview. If you go back,
he is, isn't he?
You know, he actually
from beginning.
He actually puts it. Oh, I never said that. And I said, "I know you, not you, Claude." And from that day, me and him just got on from that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and listen, he had his issues, mental health issues and things and all that, like, you know. But ultimately, a very, very good guy. Great company to be about. I'll tell you this now, like, you know, very funny guy. You know, funny without even knowing he was funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, so again, you could see it, there was a different side of him on the camera to what he was like off the camera. There was this funny guy, you know, he used to do some funny things, like, even on camera and all that. And he was very, very funny.
He just was himself on camera as well.
He's always sat and he'd be like that in a pub, and you know, he'd have you in laughter with some of the things he'd say and all that. And I will, well, I miss him now, but I miss him much, much more when the games are going to go there, because I think that's when it hit home that he's not there, if you know what I mean. So,
Big presence to miss.
Yeah, it's just a tough thing. You know, we had a couple of bad things because we had Heavy D as well that passed away as well. That was now he had unfortunately he had a big falling out with things, and that wasn't quite resolved. But another good, funny guy. You know what I mean? Like got a lot of stick, but I got on well with Colin. You know what I mean? So a couple of bad, took a couple of big heavy blows here, really. Like and but, unfortunately, life does do that to you, I suppose. So that's why and I tell you what, like and I know when you're young you don't think of it so much, but like life's no dress rehearsal. Go for it. Do what you got to do because it's so important that you enjoy life because you've only got one shot here, and
exactly.
So enjoy it best you can, like and that's what I certainly do. I enjoy life as best I can, and and I think that if everybody should be like that, work hard, get educated,
a
better chance in life.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great advice, isn't it?